Fasting as a business owner, a definite yes from my side. Now, I'm not going to go into all the health benefits. I leave that to other people to explain that have much more knowledge about that than me. What this video is about is what I think is transferable out of that fasting into the business world. And currently I'm on my very first 48-hour fast, and after 26 hours I can tell you I'm hungry. But I'm sure that's gonna pass. And there were lots and ups and downs today, but so far so good, and I'm confident I'm gonna make it for the 48 hours. Now, if you look at the skills that you can transfer out of it, I strongly believe there are three major areas in terms of that. One is negotiation, the other one is stamina, and then there is frustration. And all of this are things that you will have in your life as a business owner. Now, what has fasting to do with negotiations? First of all, I strongly believe that negotiations is a long-term sport, right? It's an endurance sport, because very often what happens is you have long negotiations and then all the action happens in the final meeting. And I was part of a negotiation team once where we negotiated for 18 months on a deal. And then everything came down to the last minute and the last meeting. And that meeting went from 9 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. in the evening continuously, right? With lawyers and everything, 12 people involved in that meeting. Now, if you fasten, here comes your advantage, right? If you know how to deal with your hunger, if you know how to deal with if you might not have access to water right now or not, you have pressure points, because as very often concessions are made before the break. And that happens all the time, and it's a very common tactic. So if you are on the other side, on the receiving end of that tactic, here's how that usually looks like. It's like you ask for, can we do a short bathroom break, or can we do a lunch break? And then the other party would go, it's like, yeah, sure. Let's focus for 10 minutes on this last 2 points, and then we're gonna go for a break. And they will try to hammer their way through on those last points, because they sense a weakness, because they sense you need to go and eat or drink or pee or whatever you have to do. So they will try to use that as an angle on you. If you fast, you can control your body better. You can control your blood sugar levels better. I mean, there are lots of experts that can explain the benefits of that. But for me, that's how it works. And I'm usually on a 16-8 intermediate fasting. So it's not that long of a stretch for me. And it really, really helps. It helped me in a lot of situations where I was able to say, it's like, okay, let's go for half an hour more and then we'll break. And so think about that when you think, should I fast or not? That's one of the benefits. You can control your hunger, which also means you can control a negotiation, and you can go longer because you have more endurance. The second thing is frustration. Every business owner deals with frustrations, being it staff being sick without notice, of course, or a project deadline being moved forward, backward, supplier delays, you name it, you have it as a business owner. Now, with that frustration, it's easier for me to deal with fasting, because when you fasten, you learn how to deal with your body's frustration. Like with that hunger feeling, with that craving, especially if you sit in a room and somebody else eats. So I have a 6-year-old son, and he eats. And that means I'm sitting next to him while he's eating, and I'm not having anything. First of all, I have a lot of explaining to do, but that's a different thing. But it means I have to control my level of frustration, because I can't eat, but my body smells the food, and of course, he wants it. So that means for me, it's like I can transfer that skill, which I'm learning during that period, and I can move it to deal with other frustrations, because it ain't very different from that. It's like that you have frustration with your staff. You just go inside, you relax, and you find your inner peace. And it's the same thing when you are on a fast. Now the third thing is stamina. And you call it stamina, endurance, reluctance to give up, whatever you want to call it, is I'm on that 48-hour window and I'm determined to make it to 48 hours, which is tomorrow night, right? And ideally, I want to go another 12 hours after that and break it with the breakfast. We'll see about that, but the goal is 48 hours. So you learn to set yourself a goal and you learn to attend that goal. And I might not recommend everyone to just start with 48 hours, but maybe you start with a 12-12 or intermediate fasting or 16-8 or 1 meal a day, however you want to start, despite of the health benefits. I think it teaches yourself a lesson. You learn to discipline yourself because you have usually access to food all the time around you, right? So you learn to resist. You learn to push through. You learn to achieve a goal. It gives you also a sense of pride. And that's sometimes all that's needed. That's the benefit for me, despite of all the health benefits. And I hope you guys take something with you from that. And if you are a business owner, or even if you are not a business owner, I definitely recommend looking into fasting. I have a lot of benefits from the intermediate already, but that first 48 hours is a different ball game for me. If you have done it already, or if you are trying it, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely keen to get your feedback on that and your experience with it. Cheers guys, see you next time.